Okay, we are here with Oyaminartok. That's an interesting name. Oyaminartok, Polar Werebear. 4 mana, 4/5. Basically has hexproof forever, but it goes away when it deals damage. You don't have to deal damage, so you can just keep it as hexproof. You sack foods, and you draft from his spellbook, and then you get 3 blue mana to cast said things. Hello? This is his draft thing. It's not that exciting. Like random common, common, some nifty uncommons, a random mutate card. This thing, I guess. That's neat. And then you get this. Pretty alright, kinda? Not really. This is alright, kinda. This is alright, kinda. This is pretty good. And that's pretty good. This is a little wishy-washy. So Nessa Hall's kind of like your prize thing, but, the whole thing is you're going fishing, and eventually you'll get something good. But the main issue is getting food into play, so you have to, run cards that put food into play, and those are usually really bad cards. But Gilded Goose is pretty good, right? There's other cards in here, so we're just running a bunch of food matters cards. Even these 2 lands, which I usually don't play. Tireless Provisioner is going to make food instead of treasure tokens. Feels kind of bad, but alright, sure. All these other random cards that just care about food or make food, usually in multiples or whatever. Like this makes 3 food, and then you're just set for the rest of the game, assuming you don't get destroyed. So, if you keep whiffing on your fishing abilities, if you're not a very good fisherman, you can at least cast big things out of hand. It does specify that the blue mana that you generate can be used on creature spells that are blue, so you can run big blue creatures and cast them out of your hand. That's pretty neat. So, assuming you go into turn 5, you pay 1 blue mana, then you get 2. It's just a dark ritual. You don't net 3, you just net 2. You had to pay 1 blue to do the thing in the first place. You go from 5 to 7, and that's where the 7 drops come in, right? Jin-Gitaxias might not ever exist. I didn't even know I owned this art of it, but I love this card, and it'd be funny to flash this in on someone's end step. You can, to the extent of my knowledge, cast things at instant speed with this. You can, if you set up a flashing Jin-Gitaxias, your opponent is not going to have that on their radar, especially from a drafted food token out of nowhere. I think that's kind of funny. Other than that, it's just like the best of green and the best of blue, right? All the Frogifies, the counterspells, the Menadorks, and all that jazz, an extra turn. I might even shave some, maybe 1 or 2 of the big things and a couple food generators, as those are kind of the weakest points of the deck, and it really needs to be carried, and I think it's going to wind up being carried by the strongest heavily played cards that already exist in the format, like Mana Drain. So, like, if you Mana Drain someone in a deck like this, it's exceedingly devastating, because even if it's a Mana Drain for something like 3, your opponent might just lose the game. That's better than Dark Ritual when it goes back to your turn. Mana Drain just carries a lot of strategies, but like a big blue-green deck, just randomly having 3 times as much mana or twice as much mana in a turn, especially early, is just lights out. So, this card is dumb, but I'd rather not carry our victories, but it's gonna. A lot of people just concede to it, so it's not even like, oh, I'm gonna use the mana to draft a cool thing and play a stupid whale. It's like, yeah, but Mana Drain won. Whatever you did after Mana Drain just didn't matter. But that's the whole gist of it. I'm not sure if I've been saying this, but in my head it makes sense. For some reason, I thought you could only run 6 fetch lands in 2-color decks, but you can run 7. I don't know why I always thought you could run 6. Maybe I've been adding 7, or just been adding. So I'll have to go back and look at my older lists, but you can run 7 fetch lands in 2-colored lists. I don't know why I thought you couldn't. I thought it was just 6, but aside from that, just blue-green ramp with random fishing mechanic that could be good and might not be good with random big blue spells. Alright, send it. Because this would be Saturday. So yeah, I might just upload the popper trash can that I had footage of. That I didn't upload. There's literally 8 minutes left in the popper thing, and I'm like sweating to get a game in for like another deck. It's so stupid. It's so stupid. I don't like thinking about it. But it's alright. We're now an angry badger with blue-green cards. My opponent didn't immediately concede. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. No, the popper videos don't do as good, but most people are not interested in watching me play popper. The people who started on the channel come here for, like, not poppers, so that kind of makes sense. Like, the 1,000 people who subscribed probably to watch, you know. But it is what it is. That will not deter me from playing it. I'm not gonna just stick to one format. I don't have the emotional capacity to do that. So I'm gonna play this because it's really, really good, and my opponent can't do anything about it. No, it's uncounterable. You cannot counter this. I don't know what counterspell would even have... they have available here. Okay, so now they have 2-minute counterspells available, technically. But, yeah. And pass. So now I draw a ton of cards until my opponent has one of the perfect answers. Alright. They don't have it. Perfect answer being Cyclonic Rift or River's Rebuke, which actually isn't even that big of a deal, because I can just exile 3 cards, especially cards that I don't think will ever resolve against Illuge. Wow, look at that. I didn't even have to go fishing. Oh, I like Svella. What's happening right now? It's throwing me against, like, cool commanders. What is happening? Uh-oh, I don't remember his name. I'm gonna have to think. Is this, this probably was a terrible keep, actually, my bad. I wanted to get it out of the way so I could read my commander name. I don't know why I did that, but... Oyaminartok. Is he, like, Omega bottom Q? Is he, like, at the bottom of the barrel? Is he, like, an absolute subby mess? Is that what this is? I mean, I'll take it. Get tempoed. Alright, this, and then that. And, unfortunately, I think I have to make treasures. I suppose the first land does not. I don't know. Oh, don't you play a second spell. Oh, wait, they have one in hand already. Never mind. Okay, they sort of nullified my counter spell, but not really. I did kind of, like, put that card on the top of their library. That is pretty good there. I like this commander a lot. Makes a Manolith, which was in the first deck I ever made. And it also makes... Okay, I drew a second land. I drew a second land. I'm gonna try to assume my opponent cannot deal with the Provisioner for another turn. And the treasure is just so much better than the food. I can't pass it up. Actually, hold on. Can I sack multiple foods? I didn't think of this. I don't know what it is, dude, but my phone goes off every time I start streaming. I don't know what it is. Okay, what did they do? They played this, and then they did stuff. Alright, I can sack multiple foods. Sack a food... Yeah, alright, so I should have made a food then, because then it was another Dark Ritual. I was actually incorrect. I didn't parse that out. So I have 1, 2, 3... So let's just say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 8 mana. I almost want to not sack this food, so I can play Jin Cataxian. No, let's not be stupid. Let's not be dumb. Alright, we're going fishing. Nothing terribly exciting. This is alright, though. Yeah, alright. That can do something at some point, I'm sure. But obviously, Kama is just very, 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 very good. My opponent has 2 cards left, and they're a red-green deck, so... Good luck to you. Cinderglade, nice. Don't see that land too much. Uh-oh, opponent What is this? Not looking too good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So they can activate this. They can just activate it. However, I am fairly prepared for said activation. So now we have... I have 9 mana. I'm going to swing with Kama and have faith my opponent won't just, like, find the ultimate thing. Even if they do, I can simply, like, kind of ignore it. Does this have flash? It does. Let us pass a turn. Alright. Come on, opponent. Something scary. It's only 4 cards. It's only 4 cards. Alright, not very scary. But they get to do it again. Actually, should I let them do it again? No, I might have missed my opportunity. No, I didn't. Okay. I will mutate here? Over? Just so my opponent cannot do that again next turn. They have to, like, recast it first. And in the intermediate, I am significantly running away with this game. Verdant Rejuvenation for 2. Oh, for 4. Okay, sure. Alright. They did hit something kind of scary, but I can target it with, like, my stuff, so it's not that scary. Oh, they have Swiftfoot boots. They can just send 13 right now. I suppose I have to stop that. Would be ideal to not take 13 damage in the air, huh? So let's tap Emrakul. And it has Ward 1, but I can tap it again if I want. And just pay the mana. Alright, so no commander in play. My attacks are a lot more efficient. Let's do this. I think this is the only land that would let me cast Jin-Gitaxias while also paying for Ward here. So that's pretty ideal. I will swing with all of these. I won't swing with my commander, though. And I will play this now. I gotta math out my stuff. I like the sacking of the Tireless Provisioner a lot. Okay, so this has flash, but I'd like to draw the cards. So we're going to... I want to keep the unique food, but nah, let's get rid of it. Okay, that's alright. It's not that amazing, though. And I would like to run this out. No, I have to draft again if I am going to leave up mana for Ward. I really don't want to take 13. Doesn't really matter. Okay, so, yep, now we do this. And then we pass. I don't think I've ever actually had Jin-Gitaxias in play. Let's get rid of you. I'll kind of like that. Get rid of you. You. Like that. Assuming the only thing that happens is I take 14, maybe I'm okay with it. My opponent must cast their hand, otherwise they lose it because of Jin-Gitaxias. What does this do? Oh boy. This might be a game where, like, River's Rebuke must do something here. So there is nothing I can do to stop that. Yeah, there's nothing I can do to stop that, right? Let me just make sure. The blue mana... Yep, alright, you got it. You got it. Oh, I get to see all of them. Look at that. They can cast Primeval Titan. Keep in mind, Jin-Gitaxias, if I keep it in play, then they don't keep this, like, chunk of cards. They have to actually, like, cast them or kill Jin-Gitaxias because their max hand size is 0. They did play something... Hold on. I have to assess what's, like, the ideal decision here. Is Pock a problem? No, it is not a problem. You can play that. I don't believe Pock is a problem. I might actually be taking 14, because Essence Scatter might have to do something here. But if they play a land and Pock is big, I can tap Pock down and Emrakul down repeatedly. Depending on what they do, you know, may or may not use this. They do Symbiosis, so they don't like all the cards available to them. They'd rather try to spin a wheel. Interesting decision. Kogla is actually unbelievably devastating, and I'm upset that this happened to me. So... There is nothing I can do about this. There's nothing I can do about it. Alright. Well, that was just above and beyond the best possible hit. I think they can just have that. The game is not about mana. The game is about not taking 14 in the face. Okay, so now I have to think. How close am I to killing them? There's Cyclonic Rift and River's Rebuke in my deck. Extra turn. Time Walk is good. Or Time Warp, whatever. I don't believe I can kill my opponent this turn cycle, though, is the problem. Technically, this is more mana, but only for creatures. Is that fine? I can recast Jin-Gitaxias. I do have the Shire here. This is assuming I have, like, another turn that is reasonable and makes sense. Which I think I might. No, I want to spend green mana here. Pick up Jin-Gitaxias. So I have absolutely, like, I have a bunch of parked Dark Rituals right now, which is incredibly satisfying. Oh, let's do the drafties. That's interesting. I don't like Pursued Whale. My opponent Alpha Striking me is not ideal. It's not very cash money. I have to spend blue mana to do this. I could technically tap my green mana, sack of food, and that nets a single mana instead of just one. But let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Nezahal's funny. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I need more mana. So I can't leave up double counterspell if I want to cast my Jin-Gitaxias. And I think I can genuinely take a turn not casting it, which involves me casting this instead. I really would like to leave up a counterspell, so I'm going to do that. Kogla can swing, but I don't believe there's a human in play. But Kogla can swing. It would die, but it blows up like a food token or something if my opponent cares about that. Burn down the house on top doesn't seem like a good idea. No, maybe it does? I don't think it does. Does it? Can they draw? Does my opponent have access to that card? They can Balagate Recovery and pick up the draw 46 or something like that. Dropping out, good luck. Oh, nice to see you. Thanks for stopping by. Alright, so let that resolve. They did find a way to draw a card, by the way. What does this do before I actually let it resolve? Okay, I think I can let that resolve. If I had double counter spell up, I probably would not let it resolve. That's fine. I can resolve. I wonder if I should let my opponent just cast this. It doesn't rearrange the order of your deck, so it probably doesn't make sense to let them cast it, right? Okay, I also drew, like, the best thing in the universe, so I guess I'm just gonna mana drain. I drew, like, the literal best card ever. So now I let him go to attacks because I can take 14, and I'm not dead to the ground. And they gotta be careful, because I did just generate a zillion mana. Okay. Let's tap down this. Tap down Pock. And I think that's all I can I guess I can tap down Emrakul at this point. It's basically free. Might as well. I'm going to just spend mana. And then tap down... Oh, wait, what's this? What are they doing? Okay, they're not doing anything. So they draw. And now I give Kama Indestructible? There's nothing else to tap down that makes sense, except I guess my opponent's land. There's no burn or anything, right? Yeah, we can just tap down the land, actually. There's no reason to do anything else. This doesn't have haste. Okay. My opponent is almost just straight dead. Right? What is this? This is 13? They're not dead, though. Emrakul will win the game. Almost. It'll almost win the game. I can't... Let's see, if I bounce this or tap it and swing for 13, that's not enough to kill my opponent. So, what's the best thing to do? Just Jinkataxius? Draw and hope I find Cyclonic Rift? There's no way to tap enough lands for my opponent to not cast Emrakul. So yeah, I think we're just going to try to hit Cyclonic Rift. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It means I can't really spend more mana. Okay, swing with this. And I think I just have to draw 7. I don't think there's anything else I can do. I draw literally nothing useful, of course, of course. So them taking all my stuff, I can tap 2 creatures before Emrakul, like, steals them. We can hide Nezahal with lands 1, 2, 3. And then I can tap Mythweaver Pock, so I don't take 15 in the face. Should probably also just run out a counter spell before I don't. They can be countered. And then tap another creature. Probably Emrakul, so I don't take Zillion. So tap that like that. Make a food token. So now what do I do? I think I'm finally doomed. Okay, for some reason my opponent didn't copy Mythweaver Pock and just straight kill me. Would have just died. Hullbreaker Horror. I don't have enough mana to use Hullbreaker in spam bounce things. I think that's my only bet, though. I'm pretty sure this is not nearly enough to survive, so it doesn't really matter. And we're dead. Alright. Unfortunate. Very unfortunate. Yep, I didn't draw River's Rebuke. I didn't draw my extra turn. I didn't draw Cyclonic Rift. I did not leave up counter magic as much as I probably should have. There was absolutely a way to win this game, and it involved leaving up counter spells that I just didn't do. I think I got too hung up on casting Jinkataxius, and that just cost me. Super cool game, though. Very cool game. Of course. That always happens. I'm talking about a card that would have saved me. I'm like, oh, you mean this card? You mean this card right here? That one? So yes, deck, I do mean that one. So let's get a forest. Right? Yeah. Almost like don't want to get a forest, but I'm going to get a forest. Drawing more lands would be nice. I can upkeep stop and look for a land. I think I'm going to actually do that. My opponent, by the way, is playing a another commander I've never seen, so... That technically is a land, right? Yeah, it's a land. It's actually perfect. Alright, never mind. It's not perfect. It's not perfect. In my head, I wanted more blue mana, so now I can't combi. Not a big deal, though. I can turn this into lands. Not sure I need even more lands in play, but... Alright, send this. They have Remand, or whatever. No? Looks like they have Swords to Plowshares, but again, we don't ever actually have to make this lose its ability. I think setting my opponent back a lot is funny. But you know what's funnier? Let's just send this. Let's see what's under here. Okay. Unfortunately, I cannot cast it right now. Kind of sad. So how does this work? It fights something and it's indestructible, and I take that fight damage. I'm not even going to read their commander. I'm not even going to read it. I don't even know what it does. I'm just going to disdainful stroke anything. So I can River's Rebuke, or I can just draw stuff like that. That works too. I feel like River's Rebuke is really good. I'm not upset if this gets Swords to Plowshared. Okay, I guess I'm just gonna do nothing. I do have these. Grand Abolisher. Ooh, I really like that. I like that. Opponent's coming prepared. The One Ring. Alright, this is, it's starting to turn into, like, not a great commander, but it doesn't matter because your deck is like this. Starting to turn into that now. Though I do like this Brash Taunter. Cyclonic Rift. I am drawing gas. Alright, so if I... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... I can't... I think it's fine to just mass bounce every... Oh, I can't, because they have protection. I just, like, full stop can't do that. Fair enough. Yep, they have protection. There's nothing I can do. Alright, well, the One Ring does have a habit of soloing people. If they cast anything, I just mana drain and win with Crater Hoof. I guess we're just doing that. My hand is like this. My hand is just Omega level busted. Okay, let's bounce the... something completely random. I don't know. This could set them back. I'm not going to bounce the One Ring, but... So they have what I think is Swords to Plowshares. So we have one less creature. They need to kill the creature before I swing. Or before this enters the battlefield and the trigger resolves. I gotta deal with that. So we'll see the spell now. I think it's a Swords. Which is fine. Oh, you gotta cast it now. You can't do it before the trigger because then my stuff is bigger. Okay, it might not be swords. Wow, I'm kind of blown away that it was not swords. Let's see. Actually, you know what? Swords of Plowshares wouldn't have saved them, right? I didn't even know you can make your name that big, but my opponent's name is huge. Alright, which one is this? 3-minute 2-4, the one with auras and... I remember playing this, and it took me 20 hours to get a win. It's kind of neat. It's kind of neat. I just, you know, good luck. Good luck. Do we have the starting removal spell? Oh, looks like we might. Alright. Kind of unfortunate. I would have liked to have played this. This is surprisingly a really good card. I like this. We can just wait, though. No big deal. Don't see why I'm leaving up mana this turn cycle. That is better than not having it. Yeah, I didn't think my opponent was going to do anything this turn. Oh, Reprieve? Mana Tithe? Coming absolutely prepared, opponent. I love it. Opponent is prepared. But I believe we are prepared as well. That's not exactly what I thought they would do this turn. Oh, right. I suppose that does make sense. Fair enough. I will respect Mana Tithe. My opponent has come quite prepared, so let's not let's not get hosed by that, shall we? And it seems like getting islands is pretty crucial. So if they cast another creature and it is not their commander, we have this, and then they can just like never cast their commander, right? And just get stuck on 2 creatures. They might not have a big incentive to... Oh, okay. Thought the auras would be negative, not beneficial, but that's... Yep. What else does this do? No, it's just auras in general. Okay. You don't have to pacify your opponent's creatures. You can just put normal auras. It's not how I was playing it, but yeah, that is probably better than what I was doing. It definitely plays against Defense of the Heart, too, so... Oh, you fiend! Wait, what does this do? Okay, I can still sack it to my commander. So, do I do it immediately, or do I wait? I think I just wait. I don't see why I would do it now. I'll just wait. I'm not really in any danger of anything happening to my commander, so... Bonds of Faith. Spicy. So it's like 3 life a turn. Oh, that's pretty good. It's better than when I was playing it, that's for sure. So we're going to take an extra turn so I can get some more mana go. Oh, wait, never mind. That's not how it works, is it? Nope. Never mind. Not enough mana. Not enough mana. Let us do the thing now. Can I Hullbreaker Horror into a spell is the question. Well, I've been a fan of this one. So, I can not. I cannot. So, we will simply mutate. And I will bounce this thing. And then I will play this thing. And leave up my stuff. Don't even really care about this. I'd rather deal with, like, anything else ever. Don't really care. There's only 1 aura in play, right? They did put it on something I could sacrifice, so they're down to a single aura. And I have a huge advantage. But they are flying for a fair amount. I mean, I can bounce that later, though. It's not that big of a deal. The food package also hasn't really been in the way yet. I can simply eat food. They do something else on top of what they normally do. It's not like they don't also... They gain life, right? I mean, I'm at 8 now, so... Oh, maybe 9? Enters that, blah, blah. Yep, let's not let that be a thing. That could be a problem. Alright, so we go to 8. And then... pick up this thing. Make El Fuderino. Can eat said Funerino. I shall. I will play another one of these. Actually bounces 2 creatures now. Yeah, we're gonna do that then. Sure. Under. Target that. Target this. Get these out of the way here. And then play El Fuderino. Get another land. Probably an island. This deck is pretty heavy on the blue. I'm not going to swing because I don't want to die out of nowhere, and 1 damage doesn't mean anything. So I'm going to just, like, potentially leave up my stuff here. Cracking this food for health if I need it before I would otherwise simply die. My opponent's more interested in casting this. I would have actually cast the curse there. Okay, there's a lot of priority being held. Alright, just do the thing. Man, I really like this Heap's Harvest. Okay. We can lock down my opponent's creatures. Can just mutate this, right? Here. It bounces all of my opponent's stuff again. And I can play this. It's an actual beater now, and it does things. Again, I'm not interested in losing access to anything in play, so I don't want to lose hexproof, I don't want to lose my mana. My opponent can have all the lands they want. I might actually eat one of the foods right now for health. Sack of food, mill 3, permanent from among them to your hand. Okay. Okay, well, they found a way to circumvent the presence of that card. I'm going to crack a food for health. And probably just get rid of the farmer. Wait. No, I'm actually gonna just pay 2 life. And see what happens when I swing with it. Okay, that was just miserable. Unfortunate. I guess I was better just drafting. How much mana do I have now? I can cast this and Defense of the Heart at the same time, and that's probably just a good idea, so I will. My opponent has some kind of spell. Don't know what it is. Sure, we'll find out. Let's bounce the farmer to the hand, shall we? That is not what I thought it would be. Wait, what does this do? Artifacts and creatures entering don't cause triggers. Okay. That does not disable my... I was about to call this my commander. Doesn't disable it. Oh, yes it does. Yes it does. Alright. But they did play 3 creatures. They did play 3 creatures. Are there any creatures that gain life here? Oh man, I want to just put stupid stuff in place so bad. Okay, we're going to get Uro. We're going to play it safe. We're going to get Uro, and this is Artifact, Instant, or Sorcery, which our opponent really doesn't care about. I want to get a card I haven't played before. Let's just get something I haven't actually ever put in play. Oh, okay. I could simply draw that too. Okay. Oh, the Doorkeeper Thrall. It nullifies my ETBs. Never mind. You got it. Well played. Didn't see that. So instead, I suppose I'm going to get... What's a not an ETB here? Like, what matters? Jin-Cataxius works. Hornet Queen is a flyer for their 2-1, I guess. And Nezahal? No, we're going to get Kama because that's just good. And at this point, I can probably actually swing at them. They did disable their own curse, which is why I did not die, if anyone was curious as to why things happened the way that they did. Alright. Well, with the comma and the flying blocker, it's very, very, very difficult to actually kill me. I'm more interested in taking 1 damage than I am doing anything else, so let's keep their stuff disabled. Activated abilities. Alright, I'll just go to 2. Alright, nice. I'm not sure what they want it to have in hand that would want this to die, but they did disable this. However, this was obviously better than disabling this, because if this wouldn't kill me, it would have put me to 2, and I just wouldn't cast Tooth and Nail, right? Or I'd get something that could blow this up or whatever, but yeah, they did shut my stuff down with this card, which kind of justifies the playing 3 creatures into the Defense of the Heart. However, like, look at our board. It's pretty hard to kill us unless you immediately kill us. But the first 2 choices were incorrect. Or at least this was. But we'll see what happens when I continue this game. I am the one between us playing really bad cards, that's for sure. Or, like, random jank things that are not ideal. Well, I can't get rid of that, but I'd rather not draw it. But it's a necessity to, like, get around the things that this deck does. The game could just already be over and nothing matters because, you know, Grazer into this, into lol, I win. Could just be the nature of our reality, especially if they have Wash Away, then the game is definitively over. Alright, they didn't have that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Not enough to cast this, but I can cast Comma next turn. I don't even know if that's good. I don't even know. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Because this is Dark Ritual. I cannot pay 1 on the Trail of Crumbs, which is kind of bad. Pursued Whale is actually good. That's actually good. I like that. That makes our opponents have to attack with at least the Risen Reef, I guess. Oh, not necessarily, because their Omnath can kill the 1/1. Oh, yeah, alright, never mind. Not exciting. It is just a giant attacker, just like Kama, so I don't feel too bad about that choice, but Kama might have just been better. Who knows, maybe my opponent just doesn't think about it, and they don't kill the pirate. Alright, they didn't kill the pirate. They just didn't do it. I don't see a reason to kill the Arboreal Grazer, so... Flare. Suppose I will simply cast Flare. And... swing for 8? No, my best bet is to hope they have to swing with Omnath, and I can kill it. I don't know. Game's probably just done, though. Just Omnath. Okay, I actually killed Omnath. I can't believe it. That's kind of insane. Okay, that's an interesting card. I can make food, and then use said food to cast... well, I guess nothing, technically, so... if this is the best thing they could do next turn... wow, I can't believe that. I can't believe that. My opponent just didn't have anything. I know it's like a Teamer ramp deck, so it's like River's Rebuke, Cyclonic Rift, but... yeah, okay, maybe it wasn't as bad as I thought. They just couldn't end the whale. They couldn't end the whale, and it just sat there and killed their stuff. So the next turn, clearly they didn't have anything, and the fact that they didn't even try to see what they were going to draw means they might not have anything. Very surprising. It's just straight up Omnath, but yeah, alright. Wow. I didn't have much confidence in that matchup. You can really just die out of nowhere. It can absolutely happen. Just, I guess it didn't happen. Wayfarer's Bauble is unusual. I get that. Nope. Okay, well. I could just bounce the... no, that's stupid. Okay, this is a very good draw. It makes me look like I don't have an answer for their commander. Okay, that's a little unfortunate. Got nothing for that, though. Little unfortunate. Alright, slightly more fortunate. I did just simply top deck an instant speed answer. That's pretty cool. Okay, yeah. What the heck is that? Okay. Can't say I'm too concerned about that. What does this do? It does things. Alright. What's the ward on it? 3? So, the ward is 3. I have to pay 3. Have to pay 3. Will pay 3. Will remove. Will probably swing, right? Yeah, I'd like a food token. I would like my food token. It's a mono blue deck. I'm not super concerned about them targeting this that much. They can have answers, but like, I don't know why they didn't block it last time. It'd be weird if they blocked it this time, but not last time. Okay, they just don't. So maybe some kind of Cyclonic Rift or something? It's kind of the vibe I'm getting, honestly. There's no way this is like a Stifle. Sublime Epiphany. Okay. Well, it's technically a counterspell. There's no way to engage with what's happening right now other than Cyclonic Rifting their commander, so the Epiphany doesn't target it. And that's probably better than anything else I can do. So I'll try that. It looks like they have a 1-minute spell, though. I don't know what it is. It's a swan song. Okay, that sucks. I cannot enchant this. Oh, wait, what? Mill 6, return 2 instants or sorceries. Okay, so they keep the real ones so they trigger the death of the copy. That's kind of witty. This is not a blue creature, so I can't really recast it. In fact, I can't really do anything. Alright, my opponent just has a stupid combo in play, huh? Looks like they do. Opponent has combo, and there's nothing I can do, so I'm just playing this. Yeah, I can't do anything. So they can loop Sublime Epiphany once a turn, but that doesn't... I guess that doesn't straight up win the game. Yeah, it doesn't win the game, really. Does this win the game? No, not really. It's weird to not keep a giant 6/6 flyer around when you can keep a giant 6/6 flyer around. Okay. They do this time. I almost want this stupid thing to actually trigger, too. It's kind of funny. I don't think I can win this, though. Play this. Play that. Play this. Here, I guess. And pass the turn. So if they go to target this one, I can just exile it in response. But still kind of not much else to do, really. Yep. Palladium Mirror? That's crazy. Palladium Mirror is just in my opponent's deck. Wow. Kind of nuts. Alright, well, let's get rid of this. I can't believe I'm still in this game. I just can't believe that. So, swing. Let us eat the food to get a Nezahal in play. So I find something better. Tapping down the Palladium Mirror seems interesting, but not that interesting. I suppose I'll take it anyways. Play this, and can still leave up this? Which could be moderately crucial. I don't think it will be, but I mean, you never know. I don't know. I just can't believe I'm still in this game to the degree that I am. This feels kind of crazy to me. Okay, my opponent now has a Nezahal. And also a ton of mana still. That was not a spell. It was not a spell. So this doesn't do anything, so I'll just pass. There's no real good thing to do in response to anything, so I guess I'll give my opponent a card that probably doesn't matter that much. And then I can cast this for a sizable storm. Oh, okay. I didn't expect that. I did not expect that. So what do I do now? Nothing? Just fly for 2? Because the storm, trigger, target. Yeah, I think I'm just going to go to attacks and fly for 2. Just because the midnight clock threatens to get rid of my opponent's everything ever, this seems like a good idea. Man, if I drew that... Tragic. So, let's... Wait. Okay, let's, get rid of you, and you. And then I let this resolve. And then I cast this. Like that. Or my opponent can just have that too, that works. I think this is... I don't know what I can do now. Hope my opponent's new 7 isn't good, but that doesn't seem very likely. That's a lot of mana, but not a lot of, like, severe interaction or anything like that. Oh, I forgot I had Nezahal. I forgot. I could have drawn a lot of cards if I didn't exile it, but I mean I had to, right? I literally had to do that. Okay, so let's cast Jin-Gitaxias, because that's better than anything else ever. And then I have double Dark Ritual, which is not enough mana to cast Kama. These games have been crazy, I just haven't been winning them. These have been nuts games, just haven't been winning. None of these are really good at all. So I'll take that thing. In fact, like, I literally cannot take the crab. I'll just give my opponent cards for no reason. Do I cast? Can I cast? I can't. Oh, these are treasure tokens. I can just cast this. And I will use it to tap down my opponent's flyer? Wait a minute, did I just win? They need 2 spells here, right? Over. Tap the Ornithopter. And swing. They need 2 spells. Because Jin-Gitaxias counters. Okay, they get rid of 3 lands to forever get rid of Nezahal. Wow. I can't believe that. That's completely insane. I just said I've been playing crazy games, some of the craziest games I've played in this format in a while, and I just haven't been winning a few of them. But the ones I do win, it's just insane. I've literally had some of the craziest games. Those are like 20-30 minute games with this commander. Okay, so this is significantly one of the best commanders I have ever played, in at least in recent history. Like, maybe since they changed the bracket system, however, whatever you're pitted against. This commander played against a ton of commanders I have never seen before, and the games lasted a long time, and there was back and forth, and there were decisions to be made, and games weren't decided turn 1 by Llanowar Elves all the time. There was a back and forth between me and my opponent for, what was this, like 2 hours straight. I think there were 1 or 2 games where it was over before it started. But for the most part, that's just bound to happen. But for the most part, that did not happen. So this commander is in a bracket, like tier 3 or whatever. It's not like the normal mid-range one, and it's not tier 1, obviously. So it's like on the bottom tier, if there's 3 of them. I would assume there's only 3. It'd be kind of crazy if there were more, but maybe there are. Maybe there's a 4th one under this. I guess I'll have to look. But this commander, for where it was placed, led to excellent games, and I didn't just completely stomp on my opponents. It wasn't like this was bracketed incorrectly and I was dominating every game I played. That was not the case. Games lasted 20 plus minutes on average. I actually didn't get to play a lot of games because of that. It just plays long games. Maybe it's the bracket and not just the commander, but if you want to play a blue-green commander that's like ramp and jank food stuff, this is the go-to. Just pay it, come to the conclusion, at least I did, that it doesn't actually play against Atraxa, the First Sliver, obviously not Golos or Keenan, any other normal commander you might see all the time. It doesn't really play the mid-range ones. Everything that I normally play, it didn't really play against those. I saw Flubs a couple times. I saw Omnath, which a couple times, but the Omnath deck didn't seem to... Ooh, Foot Cramp. Whoa. Whoa. Alright, technical difficulties. I saw Omnath, so there were some, like, normal expected outcomes, but there were a lot of decks that were not that. Also, a lot of my opponents seemed to be kind of nice. Like, everyone was saying hello to me and stuff. It was like, I usually say hello first, so everyone's, like, super nice now. This is paradise. Like, if the format was this all the time, it would be excellent. It would be excellent. This is some of the best Brawl I've played in 2 to 3 months. In just those 2 hours. It was really fun, and I was kind of like upset coming back to this format after the whole Pauper thing, right? Like, oh, you go back to this. But I actually had a great time with this. Even the losses were fine. I mean, they're going to be fine anyways. You have to lose. It's a card game, but the losses felt like I had a game to play. Like, my opponent beat me, and I'm like, I'm not just upset they top decked the best card ever and I lost right then and there. It's like, no, we had a back and forth and they just won out in the end. Like that's very cool. I really like that. So as long as this commander stays there, I kind of want to play this more. I'd play this and like try to grind out your wins for the day. So you just play like some super sweaty deck and try to trample over people just to get your daily wins or whatever. I could see myself just foregoing that to play enjoyable Magic, and that's what this deck let me do. That's what this commander let me do. Very, very sweet. I love this commander for that. But as a commander, like what I was actually doing, I guess I should actually talk about the commander, was pretty solid. You can do the blue-green ramp thing. I can actually run more ramp than I have. Surprisingly enough, this is one of the decks that felt like I really wanted a lot of blue sources and slightly less green sources, and it's usually the opposite. Any deck with green is by far the best color in your deck. It's not even close, right? With an exception of a few very high-powered off non-green cards that you could run, but any green commander can probably get away, or I should say green X commander can get away with just being like 70 green cards and then splash the other ones that might not even matter, or you ramp into the big scary colored cards of other colors and stuff. You can do that, but for the most part, it seemed like I really always wanted blue, right? Because that's the whole point of the ability, is paying blue to Dark Ritual. It's a Dark Ritual in blue. That's literally what it is. You spend 1 blue to get 3 blue. It's a Dark Ritual, but instead of black, it's blue. So you need to have blue spells specifically. If it said you could cast any creature, I could change some of these out for green creatures and then use a blue to cast those. But it does say blue. And that's kind of fine, right? That's kind of fine. I never felt like I was super starved on blue. Coming to the conclusion of when you can actually attack with this is ideal as well, right? Like, all right, I'm playing against a mono blue opponent. I can probably swing. I don't need hexproof. I'm going to swing. Or I'm against some sort of storm mono red deck. I can swing. They're not going to kill it. And even if they do, it's not that big of a deal. Well, sometimes it is. But you get the point. Sometimes you got to figure out when you can actually attack with this. And if you really need a food, then I guess you don't have a choice. But that was cool. There's like dynamic here and when to attack and when not to. Very interesting. I like that. So the commander as a whole is very interesting. I don't like casting spells that don't exist in my deck. I think that concept is kind of stupid and doesn't feel like it belongs in the game. Like drafting out of a pack of fish is like, well, I want to play Magic. I don't want to play Hearthstone where I'm just rolling dice. But for the most part, it felt kind of fine. There aren't really any high roll hits because they cost a lot of mana, right? Like, this is a good hit, but sometimes it isn't. So there's a few decks where, like, getting this doesn't do anything. There's same with this. Sometimes getting this doesn't do anything, right? So, like, a random assortment of draft value out of this is kind of neat. Like, the mutate cards were kind of the best targets, really. That was kind of, and the counter spell, the one I ended on there, is good too. The food package was fine. I never at any point, this is also very interesting, at no point did I feel like I had to change any card, right? Because my opponents were not like Omega high level tier 1 or even really tier 2 commanders, and I could kind of play slightly less powerful things because of that. It was excellent. So I'm actually kind of scared to change a card because, if I take out one card and I put in another one and it has a deck weight that's now higher, again, I'm not sure how it works anymore, but if that happened, suddenly I'm playing against slightly stronger decks and I'm like, well, I'm going to undo the change I just did. So I actually, wherever I was in this exact list was phenomenal. This was actually really, really good. I really like that. Having said that, there are some cards, especially this stupid thing. This thing is horrible. I don't even know why it's a mythic rare. I have no respect for this card. I get it, like, draw 2s, discards 1. Like, I would rather cast Chart a Course every time. Like, I'd rather just Chart a Course. I don't really know why this card exists at mythic rare. It's, like, worse than Frost Titan. Okay, so I think the Goose Mother probably should have been in here because, you know, food matters, and it's a blue creature, so I can expel it for more food, right? This probably just belonged in the deck. That's my bad. I didn't filter by this when I made it. And again, I was kind of scared to change cards as I was making the deck. And Hydroid Krasis also kind of makes sense, right? It's doing the same thing. I can spend the blue Dark Rituals to make this draw more cards. Which seems fine to me, right? And again, we're in a bracket where we can actually take the time to spend 8 mana or 10 mana on a Hydroid Krasis, pass the turn, and not just immediately die. So that's pretty cool. What would I take out? What was like the word? Jin-Gitaxias, even with games playing super slow, is not that amazing. It really isn't. I just wanted it in here because I haven't played with it in a while, but I would say it's probably on the weaker end of cards. There's just spells that draw a ton in green, at least, right? Like, oh, you have a 6/6 in play, you know, you play your March of the Ents and draw however many, or the other one, Rishkar's Expertise, or one of them, alright, you just draw 6 cards. Like, I don't think this is that good. I never really found a position to flash this in at 10 mana and, like, surprise, make my opponent lose their whole hand. And it did draw 7 cards for me, I think even twice. But I still lost that game because one of those turns was investing in 10 mana on a 5/4, right? And then it dies, and it's like, I did a 10 mana draw 7? I really don't think that's good. So I think I'll take that out. I think it's on the weaker end of card options for this thing. But yeah, that's the nature of it, right? The downside is the large things that this can cast are blue, and most of the blue cards suck. Like the blue, at least the mono blue ones. The mono blue ones. Kama's obviously just really good. I did not get to play this one, unfortunately. It would have been kind of satisfying to draw like 5 off this or whatever, but it never happened. More counterspells and maybe more extra turns are viable, right? There's certainly room for those in a deck like this. I crafted this card for this deck, and I did like it. I don't know if it ever really won me a game. It might have won me the last game I played it in, actually. I think it did. It stormed for 3. That might have done it. So this is a cool one. If you weren't thinking this exists, well, here it is. It exists. It came to my attention from that other person who was playing. Well, I don't know. It was somewhere. It's somewhere in my YouTube, I think. It's like, surely we'll beat, like, the only thing we lose to is this. And then my opponent, in the first game I played, stormed this for like 5 and I actually still won. But that's how I found out this card existed. So yeah, I liked it. I like this deck a lot. It is one of my favorite commanders just because of the bracket, and it's blue-green. I like the ramp stuff. Obviously, I get to play the strongest thing in the game, which is all these. Counter spells as well, right? Like, it's just solid. It's just solid. So I can recommend this. Absolutely a 10 out of 10. And it's fun to play. And I never felt terrible when I lost. So let me know what you think about it. If you have ideas to make this different, let me know. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.